over 2a, well, x equals that number is the axis of symmetry. So that's my vertex. So the axis of symmetry is x is equal to -1. And so I guess I'll do a, can we see if I do an XY chart here? So I got, so what if -2, -1, 0. So when I put -1 in, I get -4. What do I get when I put -2 in? I get, see if this will come up. It might be more trouble than it's worth. 2 times -2 squared plus 4 times -2 minus 2, or -2. When I put 0 in, this term zeroes out, that term zeroes out, so I get 0, -2. So if I were to draw this, I'm going to draw this a little high because our values are negative. So x is equal to -1 is my axis of symmetry. It's -1, -4 is on the graph. This is going to open upward, so I'm going to put, say, -1, -4, and then my other points are -2, -2, and 0, -2. 0, -2 is our y-intercept. -1, -4 is our vertex. Okay, let me take this one down. It's 23. Says simplify the square root of 81 over 144. Which is equal to the square root of 81 over the square root of 144, which is 9 over 12, which reduces to 3/4. Okay, this says simplify the opposite of the square root of 2500. I could say that's the opposite of the square root of 25 times the square root of 100, which is equal to, this is times, that's not another negative, the opposite of 5 times 10, or -50. 26 says solve using square roots. The opposite of x squared is equal to, plus 16 is equal to 0. Is that right? So I'm going to add my x squared. I get 16 is equal to x squared. Take the square root of both sides. 4 is equal to absolute value of x. Means x is equal to 4 and -4. So -4 squared is 16. The opposite of that is -16 plus 16 is 0. And the positive will work as well. 27. Solve by factoring. These are z's. Z squared minus 2z minus 35 is equal to 0. So what, this is z another z. So factors to two binomials. Their product is 35, and they're 2 apart. Their sum is -2, and this is -2x, so this will be -7, and this will be +5. Again, you can always use your quadratic formula. You'd get -5 and 7, and then you sort of change the signs and write your factors from your solution. Couple more. 28 says, all right, so solve by factoring. C squared minus 6c is equal to 0. So I factor a c out, so that's c times the quantity, c minus 6 equals 0. And I set each of them equal to 0, so c is equal to 0, and also c minus 6 is equal to 0. And so here I'll add a 6. C is equal to 6, and then my other solution was 0. And then, so 0 minus 0 is 0, and 6 squared is 36 minus 6 times 6 or 36. That also zeroes out. Right, so if a product is equal to 0, it means that any of its factors would be equal to 0. And I don't remember if I stopped at 30 or 31, so if my battery will let me, I'll do it again. 29. X squared plus 5x equals 14. Oh, by completing the square? Okay. So I'm going to rewrite it with a little bit of room here. And I'm going to take half of this term, so half of 5 is 2.5, and I'm going to square that. So 2.5 times 2.5, so I'm going to add 6.25. And so what I do to the left side, I have to do to the right side. I'm going to rewrite this as x plus 2.5 all squared is equal to 14 plus 6.25, which is 20.25. I'm going to take the square root of both sides. I'm going to get the absolute value of x plus 2.5 is equal to the square root of 20.25. So to solve this, I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to drop the absolute values. X plus 2.5 is equal to the square root of 20.25, or x is equal to the square root of 20.25 minus 2.5. It's just solved to the nearest hundredth. So the square root of 20.25, I got to hit right, minus 2.5 is 2. And then to solve the negative, I will change the absolute values to parentheses and put a negative in front of it. So the square root of 20.25 is 4.5. So now I'll distribute this. I'll get negative x minus 2.5 is equal to 4.5. And then I'll add my 2.5. I will get negative x is equal to 7. Right? X is equal to negative 7. So I have my two values were 2 and negative 7. And I'm going to check this. 2 squared is 4. Did I get 2? So that's 4 plus 5 times 2 is 10. 4 plus 10 is 14. I got that right? Negative 7 squared is 49. So it's 49 minus 35. This should work. Okay. 2 and negative 7. And then we didn't have to round. 30. 30 says use the quadratic formula to solve. 4y squared minus 8y. So they have equals 5, so I'll rewrite that as 4y squared minus 8y minus 5 equals 0. So now I'm in a, these are in y's, so I'll write it that way. Ay squared plus by plus c is equal to 0. So, okay. I'll write our quadratic formula. X is equal to the opposite of b plus or minus square root of the quantity b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. So in our case, a is equal to 4, b is equal to negative 8, c is equal to negative 5. So the opposite of negative 8 is 8. Plus or minus square root of the quantity. Negative 8 squared is 64. Minus 4 times negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. All over 2 times 4, or 8. 80, 64. So this is going to simplify to 8 plus or minus. That's 64 plus, right, 20 times 4 or 80. So it's square root of 144 all over 8. This is equal to 8 plus or minus 12 over 8. That's 20 over 8. Or negative 4 over 8. Or, let's see, 5 halves. Negative 1 half. And let me move this down. Okay. Okay, I think that's where we stopped. I think we got the whole sheet finished now. I know I rushed that last one a little bit. It looks like there's only one, right? The review sheet is the best guess as to what we have that's on the exam. So, you know, I don't know whether the quadratic formula will be on there or if you have to memorize it, you know, but it looks like it comes in there just at the end, so there may be one. You know, that's just a guess from me. Again, you know, it's possible I'll make some mistakes in there. Any questions or you know, corrections, anything like that, you can post them, and I will do my best to get back to them. Study hard. Good luck, everybody, and I'm going to end it here. Thank you.